So up next here, we have Circle K International, and we have Audrey from Circle K. So Audrey, you can state your full name and your position in the club.
Hi, my name is Audrey Abbott, and I am the president at Circle K International.
Okay. And what is Circle K's purpose or mission? And I think for a lot of high school students out there, that name sounds familiar, right?
Yeah, so Circle K International, our goal is to really build up student leaders. We really like to focus on our three tenets, which is service, leadership, and fellowship. So obviously, we like to give back to our community. We like to give the students who participate in Circle K leadership skills that they can carry on later in life. And then we also like to really have a social aspect where you can make lifelong friends through college. And yes, if you remember if you remember Key Club from high school, we are a branch of the Kiwanis family. So it's really likely that you'll get to see people that you might have seen in high school if you did Key Club. And I didn't do Key Club, so if you aren't familiar with like a ton of Kiwanis, that's totally fine. It's really easy to get involved and to like figure out how this works.
Awesome, great. And yeah, I know they do a lot of volunteering. He wants us to do a lot of volunteering and community outreach. So to that, can you kind of maybe speak about why students should join Circle K?
Yeah, I think Circle K is a really great club, especially with us being at a community college. I've met some of my really closest friends through this club, whether it's from PCC or from other schools. It's just like such a great community of people because we all have one single purpose, which is like to give back to our community, whether that's through like restoring community centers or we make like care packages or right now through our virtual situation. We've been finding a lot of ways to give back to our communities virtually, like we can do things online together. But yeah, I think if community service is something that you're interested in and finding a group of people with like similar values to you and just people who want to get involved in college, I think this club is really important to join. You'll just like have so many great experiences. And yeah, it's a really great club.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And for any students that are interested in transferring or applying maybe for a job very soon, joining something like Key Club, which is again part of an international organization, I think is a great opportunity to
Yes.
show what you have in terms of leadership and volunteering.
Absolutely. And actually, I have a little thing to share. So if I can share my screen really quick. Um, this is just like a little snippet of some stuff. Obviously, these are things that we did before we had to go online, before we had to go virtual. But this is just like some examples of some fun things you might get to do and like the great people you'll get to meet through this club. I'm in a lot of them because I really love this club. And like I went to a lot of these events and yeah, like we're all just super happy and we had a really great time last year and this year too, with things being virtual.
Awesome. Yeah, so speaking of events here, are you thinking of doing anything in the spring? I know the context has changed based on, what was before, which are some of these pictures, and what was now. But do you have any ideas or any brainstorming of what you plan to do with your club members now?
Yeah, I think now that our board has had a little bit of time to adjust, or a good amount of time to adjust to being online and having all these Zoom meetings, like some of our officers have done like a lot of really great research into things we can do online. For example, like there's a lot of organizations and programs where you can write thank you cards to essential workers or to healthcare workers, because they've been doing such an amazing job during this time. So we like do things like that. We might make cranes for hospitals which they hand out to the pediatric center. And yeah, things like that, just kind of helping out the community and giving back and showing, everyone who's going through a really hard time right now that we care about them and we appreciate them a lot. So those are just some examples of things we might do for service since we can't do things in person.
Awesome. Yeah, and I want to reiterate, and I do appreciate that your club is going out there and helping out the community, especially in times of need like right now. And to that, can you maybe go ahead and I know it's already on the screen, but reiterate for students when your club plans to meet and how often it will meet for the semester?
Mhm. So our club meets obviously on Zoom. We meet every other Tuesday about. Sometimes we have to adjust the schedule like because of finals or if like things are just a little bit crazy, we might adjust it and like push it back a week. But for the most part, it'll be bi-weekly. so twice a month, and it'll be on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. And if you have absolutely any questions, you can contact me at my president's email, which is p@pccki.org, and I'll get back to you and contact you and let you know some information if you have any questions. But yeah, that's our meeting time, and we do have a meeting on February 23rd at 4 p.m.
Awesome. And Audrey, we can kind of wrap this up for us. Are there any other social media platforms that you have that you want students to maybe reach out to you on?
Mhm. I if you contact me, then we have like a couple different platforms. We do have a website. I don't have it linked here, but I'm actually not quite sure of the link off the top of my head. But if you have any questions or want to get to know any of our other platforms, you can email me and I'll send them to you. But we have a website. I do send out email updates every once in a while, so you guys have links to things. So yeah, you can just contact me and I'll get this for you, because there are quite a few things that you might be able to get information from.
Sure. Yeah. And for any students that are interested, all that information will be updated on their Lancer Life page, and you can click through and visit their social media there. But Audrey, thank you for your time and thank you for representing Circle K.
Thank you.
All right. So up next here, we have Diakonos. And Michelle, if you could help us state your full name and your position in the club, please.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and I'm the president of the DIAKANOS.
Okay. And for some students out there who aren't familiar with the word or the term, could you maybe go ahead and describe Diakonos' purpose or mission for us?
Yes, for sure. So, DIAKANOS is a club that's named after the Greek word servant. And I feel like it really fits us because we're a volunteer based club that runs on our passion and love and giving back to the community. But that's not really our only purpose. Yeah, our purpose is to give back to the community, to give back to our school, to the people around us in our campus, but it's also for you, for you to grow as a person, for you to connect with others, for you to network, for you to learn more things, for you to step out your comfort zone or find a friend group that's your support system throughout these times. And I feel like our purpose is really not just giving, but also learning more about ourselves.
That all sounds really wonderful. I know it's maybe been covered already, but if you can maybe give one or two concrete reasons of why students should join your club, I think they would appreciate that.
Yes, that's a very good question. So, we advise you to join our club if you find yourself having that passion and drive to give back to the community, or you just want to see how it's like to give, especially during these times. And not sometimes we can't find volunteer hours, or sometimes it's hard to connect with people since we're all over the place over virtual learning and stuff like that. But it's we invite you to come in to not just learn about yourself, but for you to feel connected and for you to, whether it's you're transferring, whether you're going down your career path in the next few years, we want you to learn that your change, your voice, your actions make a difference, that big changes don't happen all of a sudden, but it happens with steps. And we hope that you can join us so we can take those steps together.
Awesome. And I think Diakonos provides, well, two things that are great during this time. A, because you give back to the community and because so many people are in need or they're depressed or they're not happy because of all the things going on, but also because you provide that safe social space for students to come in and connect with each other, which I know is super hard during these times of remote learning. So that's kind of my segue here into maybe asking if students want to come and join Diagnos, when is your scheduled meeting times?
So our scheduled meeting times currently is unknown. We meet once a week though. So what we do is once everyone starts signing up, we're going to send out an email with a poll so people vote on the days and times that work best for them. And then at the end of the week, we decide which day and which time got the most votes, and that's the day we go with.
I like that process, very democratic. And with that said, I know we've talked about a lot of the things that you do for the community, but could you point to any specific events or upcoming opportunities that you have for students that you plan on doing for the spring?
Oh, yes, for sure. So, the first project we have planned is to make homeless packages. So, we all know, like during Christmas time and stuff like that, the homeless shelters get a lot of donations. But once the new year comes around, it kind of just stops. Want to keep it going, and that's our main project for the first month of DIAKANOS. But we have a bunch more planned that we're making official and can't wait to tell you guys. But a few things we did last semester was we made motivational booklets and letters for chemo patients. We made dog toys for the dogs at the dog shelter. Um, we also made a bunch of gifts and donated a Christmas tree to the orphanages, and we had a few baking competitions that were all virtual, and it was a lot of fun. And hopefully, we'll have a bunch of more fun this semester.
Yeah, all that sounds super great. And not to throw a curveball question to you here, Michelle, but I know being in ICC for a while now that you're one of the founders, if not the founder of Diagnos Club. So if you can maybe speak from the heart and talk about what inspired you to create the club, I think students would like to hear that.
Well, I came here as a freshman and I was kind of unfamiliar with everything. But all I knew is like I wanted to build like a family and a support system. And a big passion of mine is volunteering and giving back. So I was like, you know what if me and my best friend make this safe space for people where people join and share their passion of giving, of volunteering, and just build a connection with each other. That's far more than just a club where we meet once a week, but friendships that go beyond the club, where we support each other, where we see each other grow as a person, where we learn like it's so fascinating to me seeing how people love in different ways. And it's just, I feel like it's such a beautiful way to learn, especially as we're growing older, figuring out our career paths, figuring out who we want to be, and just learning from each other is just, I feel like the other.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for your time. And for any students that are interested in joining Diagnos Club, you can find them just like all of our other clubs on Lancer Life. So click through, and I'm sure they'll be happy to have you. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Yes, thank you. We would love to have you guys.
All right, so up next, we have Christians on campus here with Anna. And Anna, if you can introduce yourself with your full name and your position in the club.
Hi, so I'm Anna Kuo, and I'm the ICC representative of Christians on Campus.
Okay, and I know the name kind of speaks for itself there, but could you maybe explain and elaborate a little bit more about Christians on campus mission or purpose?
So, yeah, we're just simply Christians on Campus. We are a Christian group that loves the Lord, and we meet together to enjoy the Lord, and we welcome everyone to come join us.
Okay, and that's great. I know a lot of students are a little bit apprehensive about what if I'm not religious or I haven't been to church in a while. So I think it's great that you are embracing all perspectives there. So with that said, could you maybe give us some more insight or reasons as to why students should join your club?
So, just if any student is curious and if you have any questions about Christianity, or if you just want to join us to see what we do here, then feel free to come join us. It's also a good opportunity because during this pandemic, sometimes we would like to have more social interaction. So, we always welcome people, and it's nice to see new people.
Yeah, I agree. I know in this remote learning times, it's super hard to connect with people online, and I do appreciate that your club opens up the space for students to come in and socialize and gather. So with that said, could you maybe go ahead and talk about when your club plans to meet for spring?
So throughout spring, we'll meet weekly from 12 to 1 every Wednesday. And when we come together to meet, we just read the Bible and we sing and we discuss some questions. So that's what we do.
Okay, great. Um, and to that, I know Zoom meetings are kind of the signature, I guess, event you can say of your club. And again, I do appreciate that social space that's being opened up to students. But are you thinking of having any events in the future for spring that you want to draw students into? Even a little bit of a brainstorm is okay. It's not set in stone.
Hmm. So we've been thinking of having like meetings with other college campuses,
Mhm.
like other Christian groups. We get together once a month, kind of. And as to the date, we're still figuring that out, but we will definitely notify people through social media.
Okay, sounds good. And speaking of social media, do you have any ways of reaching students or connecting with students on those platforms?
Hmm. So, other than Lancer Life, which you can see our information,
Mhm.
we communicate through Instagram. Our Instagram is pcc.coc. So here we post any updates about club events, and um, we even if you want to just come and chat, then sometimes if you have questions, you can just direct the questions to Christians on pcc.coc.
Okay, sounds great. So for any students who are even a little bit curious about Christianity or about learning about the Bible, please visit Christians on Campus's social media pages or their Lance Life page, just like any other club here on campus. Anna, it was great to have you. All right, so up next we have CSSA and we have a Nicholas from CSSA. So Nicholas, if you could go ahead and state your full name and your position in the club.
Okay, my name is Nicholas Shai, and I'm an officer under the CSSA ICC department.
Okay, thank you for that. And could you go ahead and expand on what CSSA stands for, the acronym, and maybe its purpose and mission for us, please?
Okay, so CSSA stands for Chinese Students and Scholars Association. We help students in need, especially internationals, but not only Chinese students, but also like all students in needs. Yeah. And we also promote mutual understanding and friendship between Chinese students and other US students by hosting social, intellectual, and cultural activities for our members to attend.
Awesome. I think that's great because I know international students make up a good part of our campus population. And I know recently they might have been feeling homesick or very worried about what's going on back in their home countries with the pandemic and everything. So I like that your club kind of promotes understanding and a space for students to socialize. So with that, could you maybe give us one or two concrete reasons of why you think students should join CSSA?
Okay, first of all, everyone is welcome to join our club. Our club is not limited to Chinese international students only, and I'm emphasizing this because it came to become a problem like last semester because someone came to us and they misunderstood our um, like meaning of our club. Like we're only limited to Chinese, and they ended up misunderstood us. But just to state it clear, everyone can join our club. It's not only to Chinese, and so our members can exchange different information, asking questions in our official group chat, and receive translated important information, which is mostly posted by PCC. So everyone can join that. We'll post both English and Chinese, just because more Chinese students are in our club. And also, if you become an officer in our club, we'll train your ability to work with other people and improve your leadership skills, which is good for to put on your resume while transferring.
Yeah, and I think that's great that you, as a club, discovered a problem and addressed it, and addressing it now and talking about it. And yeah, for any students who need clarification, CSSA is not limited just to Chinese students, but they welcome all types of students from any background. Um, with that said, could you go ahead and clarify for us if you have a schedule when your club wants to meet for spring semester?
Okay, so we meet every Tuesday at noon, And so that's the official meeting time. But if we have like some extra meetings, we'll stay in the group chats.
Okay, sounds good. And I know you mentioned a group chat there. Are there any social media platforms that you would like students to know about that they can connect with you on?
So we're mostly using WeChat to use the group chat things because that's what most our members are using right now.
Hmm.
But I don't
Okay.
have the QR code right now, so I cannot show you that. But um, so usually uh, we'll give you the QR code while during the club rush. But right now we'll send it the QR code or link directly to your email if you're joining our club.
Okay, sounds good. And you can always find this information on their Lancer Life page, as with all other clubs on campus. So for any students that are interested, you can connect with Chinese Students and Scholars Association on there. To kind of round us out here, Nicholas, do you have maybe one or two events that you want to highlight for the semester that you plan on having?
Yeah, so actually every spring quarter, we will have three major events, which are first the freshman's party. So this meant to help the students who are new to PCC making friends and get familiar with this campus or anything. Of, and the second event is a singing competition. So everyone can join. You can Chinese song, English song, or Spanish, or whatever it is. And also there's a gaming competition. It's mostly League of Legends. Like in the past 3 years, I believe it's all League of Legends competition, and that's the three major events we'll host every spring.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of opportunities for students to socialize with others. Excited to see what the singing competition is going to look like for any gamers out there. This is also a great way to connect with other students. But that has been Nicholas from CSSA. Thank you for your time and thank you for representing your club.
Thank you.
So up next, we have PCC Global Club. And here we have Kyra today. So Kyra, can you state your full name and your position in Global Club?
Yes, hello guys. My name is Kyra Ko, and I am part of the ICC members in Global Club.
Okay, Kyra. So Global Club, I know that's kind of a general name. So could you maybe give us some more details about what Global Club does and its purpose?
Yes, hold on. Let me share my screen. So some of like the clubs that we have in like partnership with USC, we have like a global studies club, and then we also have our volunteer members create volunteer opportunities, and one of them would be in the elementary school that is local here in Pasadena. And basically our members get to teach those students Chinese. It's like great opportunities. We also have transfer opportunities as seen with our like fall 2020 activities with the transfer workshop and Thanksgiving celebration, where students from that alumni of PCC, they attended UCLA Art Center, USC, and UC San Diego, and they share their experience with us so we can have a better understanding of what it's like in those universities. And then in the Thanksgiving celebration, we have multiple acts, games, and just fun interviews with other students in their home countries abroad.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And I appreciate your partnerships with outside community resources and the events that you've done in the past. I know I see here that you have a slide about some of your mission statements there. Would you like to go ahead and share some of those?
Yes. So some of our missions, we host events where students get to experience cultures from around the world, as you saw with the Thanksgiving event. And then we also provide volunteer services to local communities. We work with nonprofit organizations in Pasadena to organize events and reach out to our community. And we also connect with other PCC clubs to build connections. And we encourage the success of Global Club members transferring to their dream universities.
Okay, so from what I gather here, Global Club is kind of a social, transfer-oriented club, is right, Kyra?
Mhm. Correct.
Okay. So with that said, do you have any, I know we already went over some of the events that you did in the fall, but do you have any events that you have planned for spring looking forward?
Yes, we have our Lunar New Year celebration video, which we will present on the first day of school. We also are still planning out the school district volunteers event and the 11th anniversary of Global Club. And we will also have another transfer workshop sometime in May.
Okay, and I know it's a little bit smaller, but can you repeat for some students here when your club meets and how often?
Yes, we will have meetings on the third Friday of every month from 12:15 p.m. to 12:55 p.m.
Okay, and if you could kind of give a couple of reasons or one reason of why students should join your club, can you maybe speak to that?
Yeah, sure. So aside from like transfer help and just like connections within the club and the community, we also, each of our members will have a position and responsibility in the club. You're not just a member. So there will be like the president position, vice president position, secretary, treasurer, public relations, webmaster, ICC, and the volunteer coordinator. And basically in each role there will be like multiple people in that role, so you can like communicate and you don't feel alone in the club. There's like connections and just it feels like you're actually in the club and you know what's going on as opposed to just being a member. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think it's super important during this time that we find people to connect with. But I think even more than that, I appreciate the fact that, like you said, every person that joins the club has a role in the club that they contribute back to the club in a leadership manner. So for students trying to go ahead and look for some leadership positions, Global Club has a lot open here, as you can see if you like to pause the video and take a look at Kyra's slide. So with that, Kyra, I appreciate you coming and speaking on behalf of your club. What are some ways that students can connect with you?
So we have our Lancer Life link. You can always connect it with us there. We also have email if you have any questions, and then all of our social medias where we update people on events that we're doing and like meetings. So if you want to join us, feel free to check those out.
Okay, thank you so much, Kyra. And we will leave it on the slide here for any students who are interested. As always, you can find all of our clubs on Lancer Life. And thank you, Kyra, for coming.
Thank you.
All right, so up next here, we have International Christian Fellowship, and we have Josie. Josie, if you could state your full name and your position in the club, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Josie Law, and I'm club president of International Christian Fellowship.
All right, and what is ICF's purpose or mission? I know it's kind of built into the name, but if you can maybe elaborate a little bit more.
So we're a club for international students, and we're just trying to create a safe and welcoming space for all. And if you're not an international student, like I myself, I'm not an international student, but if you're interested in having that multicultural experience, PCC is a campus with students from literally like all over the world. And ICF would be a place for that if you're looking for that multicultural experience, and also a place if you're a believer or if you're not a believer. Seriously, like this is a place where people just get together and dialogue and talk spiritually or not spiritually, and they just have fun. And we used to have food, but not food anymore, but it's still like our virtual community. We do a lot of games together. We've been playing just Among Us and every name that you can name, like on the internet right now, like Catan and stuff like that. So yeah, just come and have fun and enjoy the community.
Awesome. And I think it's great that ICF serves, well, two populations. One, I know international students recently have been maybe feeling homesick or have a lot of issues recently, feeling anxious about staying here or returning home. So I'm glad that your club provides a safe space for students like that to socialize. But also because I know there are a lot of students out there who are maybe a little interested in religion, but are maybe not too hesitant or maybe a little hesitant to ask. So I do like that your club provides that space to talk and socialize casually.
Mhm.
So with that said, could you maybe give then one or two concrete reasons of why students should join your club?
And just to that point of like people who are not interested in religion but still like looking for something, I think this is also a place for that. I don't mean to say that in like a super like inclusive, like idealistic way, but really, I think this is a club that doesn't pressure people. If you're if you're hesitant, if you're unsure, or if you're even a little bit against something, a little bit dubious, suspicious about something, I think our staff and I myself, I'm more than happy to talk about that with you, to dialogue and to have a space where we can like reflect on our own beliefs and examine our own beliefs and also hear about other beliefs. But to your question, sorry, about why people should join, again, the part of the community I said, I think is super important because it's COVID and I myself don't really have a chance to know people personally. So this could be a place for that, for you to get to know your peers because they're interesting people. And yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And I know, again, like I've stated for other clubs, but I know it's super hard during these times to maybe find other people to network with and socialize with. So really any club, especially ICF's philosophy here with trying to connect and socialize with other students, I think that's a great thing to have. So with that said, for any students that are interested, can you maybe give us an outline of when your club meets and how often it will meet for this semester?
So it will be weekly Friday nights at 7 p.m. And you can find our flyers and meeting times also on social media, Instagram.
Awesome. And can you, Josie, point to any specific events, even just a little idea is okay, of anything that you plan to have for spring semester?
One, I guess, exciting thing that we're going to do is we're going to meet with Cal Poly Pomona and have joint meetings with them because we're under InterVarsity, a nationwide like Christian group. So you'll get to meet people from Cal Poly Pomona.
Awesome. Yeah. And for any students out there that are interested, I think it's great that your club has the backing of kind of a more larger nationwide organization so that students from our campus can connect with other institutions and other schools. I think that's really important. Um, so Josie, since we have a little bit of time here, could you maybe speak from the heart and maybe a little bit personally about why you came to ICF and what made you be a part of the club?
Sure. Yeah, I love that question. Thank you, Chris. So, I mean, I've been in ICF for a little bit over 2 years now,
Mhm.
and I could just tell you it's made such a big difference in my life because I'm not an international student, but my siblings are, and they're not in PCC. But I came because I was looking for an experience to learn more about what they're going through and to learn more about people just around the world. You know, as global citizens, I think um, PCC, I mean, also because PCC is a place with so many international students, I always felt like um, I always felt like there was a little bit of disconnect between people, and I myself am interested in multicultural, just having different cultures, learning about different cultures. So I just and as a Christian, this was just like the perfect combination of my interests and my background as well. So yeah, that's why I came to ICF, and I've been here since.
Yeah, I love your reasons. It's just a kind of a fusion of what you're passionate about and also your need and your concern for wanting to relate to your peers. Most of them at our school, yes, are indeed international students. So I do like that you reach out and yeah, try and connect with other students and bridge that divide. But that has been ICF. Josie, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So up next here, we have InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, and we have two members from InterVarsity here with us. If you could introduce your names and your position in the club, please.
Hi, I'm Sylvia, and I'm president of the InterVarsity Christian Fellowship at Pasadena City College.
Hi, I'm Danielle, and I am the Vice President and ICC representative.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And I know it's kind of built into the name already, Christianity, but if you can maybe elaborate a little bit more about the club's purpose or mission, please.
Sure. The purpose and mission of InterVarsity Christian Fellowship is to provide a safe and open space for PCC students to discover God and Jesus. And we do this through community and prayer meetings and Bible study. And it's really a place for you to come, like I said, discover.
Awesome. And so if you could maybe give one or two concrete reasons of why students should join your club, I think they would also really appreciate that. So either you or both of you.
I can answer that.
Mhm.
So following after what Sylvia said, we have a strong sense of community for those who are Christians, and especially for those who aren't Christians. We want those who don't really know about what Christians believe or what we follow. Like, we want to inform you and answer questions. We have a Bible study where we go into scripture and anyone is allowed to ask questions. We want to grow together, answer those questions. And also, as I said earlier, a sense of community. It's a safe place for people to talk about what's going on in their lives and to receive like spiritual care or just emotional, just a place to let go and talk about what's going on. And all people are welcome. If you have questions, as I said, like, we want to grow together. We want to be a community.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I really appreciate that your club provides a safe space for students to learn more about Christianity and religion. I mean, that's what we say, right? We don't talk about religion or politics with other people, but I think your club is a great opportunity for students, if they're even a little bit curious, to learn more about Christianity and what it means to be Christian. Yeah, so with that said, can you go ahead and maybe tell students when your club plans to meet for this semester and how often it meets?
Yeah, right now we're meeting on Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. for our share and prayer meetings. And this is a time to come and share about what's been going on and to receive the support through prayer. And you can come with your own prayer needs, or if you want us to pray for your family or friends. And it's a safe space. And if you don't feel like praying out loud, we can pray for you and with you. And so we just want to invite you to those meetings on Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m.
Yes, and we also have, as I mentioned earlier, the Bible studies, and we don't have a set date yet, but we are going to email everybody who's interested with a poll, and the poll will have different dates and options for time slots, and whatever is most voted is the day we will have our meetings, because we want as many people to come as possible. So it's up to you guys.
Awesome. I like that's very democratic. And also the fact that I think a lot of students are in need of maybe a quiet, meditative space at this moment when there's so many things going on in our lives. And I do appreciate that your club provides that opportunity for students. Outside of Bible studies and meetings, even just a little brainstorm is okay. But do you have any plans of any upcoming events that you want to host for spring?
Well, we'd really like to be servants to our campus community or our Pasadena city community. So we'd love to ask the group what would be something that they'd like to do, and to do that in a socially distanced way because of the pandemic. But because we are loved by God, we want to love on others. So that's something we'd like to plan on.
Thank you so much for that, Sylvia. And so for any students who maybe want to connect with InterVarsity, I'm sure they would love to have you, and you can share your ideas with what you want to see happen with the club. With that said, if maybe one of you could help wrap us up here, how can students connect with you? Do you have any social media outside of Lancer Life that you want to talk about?
Yes, we have an Instagram page. You can find out about our prayer meetings that way and any other events. We will post those. And that is at IV.Pasadena City College. So the
Awesome.
Instagram is IV.Pasadena City College. And we also actually have a Facebook page that we need to update, but we do have Facebook, and that is InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, Pasadena City College. And they'll be posted on our Lancer Life page as well, in case you didn't get them.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. And again, reiterating for students, if you want to connect with InterVarsity, I'm sure they'll be glad to have you. You can always find them on Lancer Life, and they'll go ahead and put their social media on that page as well. But thank you so much for your time, InterVarsity.
You're welcome.
Thank
Come
you.
join us.
All right, so up next, we have Catholic Student Fellowship. And from CSF, we have two members, Melody and Sophia. If you could help state your full names and your position in the club, please.
Thank you, Chris. Hi, everyone. My name is Melody Borja Caleb, and I am the president of the Catholic Student Fellowship Club here at PCC.
Thank you, Chris. Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Sophia Borja, and I am the treasurer of the Pasadena City College Catholic Student Fellowship Club and acting ICC rep.
Thank you so much. With that said, I know it's kind of built into your club's name, but could you maybe elaborate a little bit on your club's purpose or mission?
Yes, Chris, thank you for that question. So, Catholic Student Fellowship, or CSF, is a campus ministry that complements the secular education provided at Pasadena City College. We are a worshiping community, a place of generous hospitality, and a resource for those seeking to learn about scripture or sacraments, or just have questions about the Catholic faith. As well as everyone is welcome to join. We seek to strengthen students' faith and develop their gifts so that they may grow into passionate and amazing people for us to look up to in the future.
Thank you for that, Sophia. And I know it's important during these times for students to find a way to connect with others. And I appreciate that your club provides that space. With that said, could you maybe go ahead and give one or two concrete reasons then of why students should join your club, if there's any specific events or ideas you can point to?
Of course. So, our club, the Catholic Student Fellowship, is a very lighthearted and happy community. We support each other in any way we can, whether that be academically or whether that be through church and the Catholic faith. And we're here for each other when you need a place to go to feel safe or when you just need to talk to somebody, especially during these times when we can't be with each other physically. But our meetings over Zoom, we are a community and we can help each other in whatever way possible and in every way possible. And we're looking forward to meeting everyone in person when we can.
Sounds great. And so if we can round us out here, can you maybe give us some information on when your club meets and any events you plan on having for spring?
Sure, our club meets on Thursdays at 12:05 p.m. and usually goes until 12:45 p.m. so that students can have a little bit of time for lunch at the very end.
Thank you for that consideration. I know a lot of students might be hungry around that time. But with that, are there any like events you can point to or opportunities that you want to talk about? Maybe just one or two are okay that you want to do for spring?
Yes, Chris, we look forward to having games, virtual games, and guest speakers. We also have a video that we'd like to share with everyone.
Sure. Yeah, and I think that'll be a good capstone to our interview here. So whenever you're ready.
Hi, my name is Priscilla Dorn, and I am a former ICC rep from Catholic Student Fellowship from last spring 2020. And what I liked the most about the club was just how transparent it was, how comfortable I was to just be myself and share with others. I knew I could always find people that I could trust and that would help me not only in my studies and my academic goals, but just in my overall goals in life as a whole. And so I really recommend people that are looking for good friends and good students and just seeking more in life to join the club. Thank you.
Hi, welcome. I'm Dr. Maribel Morales. Please join us as we share our faith and love for God together. God bless you all.
Hi, my name is Miss Sophia, and I'm the treasurer of the Catholic Student Fellowship Club. And this year marks 1 full year of our club. Yes, we are new, and we are excited to be here and to welcome you. And so the things that we can do in our club are have guest speakers, which we have that set up, and also have alumni come and speak to you who were part of the club before. And we also have games, and we're here to welcome everyone and, to answer your questions. So we hope you join our club. Thank you very much.
My name is Melody Borja Calef. I'm the current president of the PCC Catholic Student Fellowship, and we'd like to say hello and welcome. If you would like to join us, we meet on Thursdays at 12:05 p.m. bi-monthly. We also have a social media page at PCC_Catholic where we update and have resources for anyone who would like to explore the Catholic faith. In our club, we are open to anyone, whether you're here just to see, to learn, to expand your knowledge, or whether you're here so that you can learn something new. We welcome everyone. And with a very light-spirited hello, I'd like to say Happy Valentine's Day, and we hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.
All right, thank you so much for that video. And thank you so much for your time, Melody and Sophia.
Thank you very much. And I would just also like to say that St. Philip the Apostle, which is the church across the street, has the Newman Center open for us to come when we are finally able to see everyone in person. Thank you.
Thank you for that reminder. And thank you, Melody, for your time as well. And that was CSF. All right, so up next we have CARP and we have Mika from CARP. Mika, if you could state your full name and your position in the club, please.
Hi, my name is Mika Miyagi, and I am the president of CARP.
Awesome. And could you go ahead and clarify for students what the acronym CARP means and maybe its a purpose or mission?
Yes, so CARP stands for Collegiate Association for the Research of Principle. Our purpose of our club is to generate a spirit of compassion, involvement, and determination in the young people of the world today through revitalizing their relationship with God. And so we're an interfaith club with the hope and desire to create an environment of growth for students on our campus. And I have a video to share more about that.
Hello! We are the Collegiate Association for the Research of Principles, but we usually go by CARP.
Our mission is to generate a spirit of compassion, involvement, and determination in the young people of the world today by revitalizing their relationship with God. And our core values are interdependence, mutual prosperity, and universally shared values.
We implement these core values in everything we do, because we believe that if we simply practice these three things, we can be the change that makes this world a better place.
We believe the solution to the problem is a new value system. Our founder once said, "We need a new, true value system as a way out of this suffocating situation. This new value system should be based on the ultimate being."
If you join CARP, you'll discover the fundamental answers to these questions.
Okay, thank you for that video. Very well produced. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Okay, so that moves us into our next question here, which is if you could maybe provide 1 or 2 concrete reasons of why students should join your club.
I believe students should join our club because it helps people discover purpose through developing our faith, as well as teaching us how to contribute positively to the world around us.
Great. And so can you go ahead and give students a scheduled time of when you plan to meet for the semester, just so they have a time in mind?
Yes. So actually, we will be meeting every Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. And our first meeting will be held on February 23rd, which is going to be the second Tuesday of the semester. And so we have our Zoom ID here, so please feel free to join us.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. And for any students out there, I'm sure CARP will be glad to have you. Mika, for any last comments here, can you point to any events or opportunities you want to talk about that you can provide to students for spring?
We only have our weekly meetings planned for now, but if you'd like to be updated and keep posted on any future events, please feel free to come to these weekly meetings and we'll let you know.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And for students who are interested in joining CARP and joining their Zoom meetings, the ID is up here, but you can also always find this information on their Lancer Life page, as with every other club we have here on campus. So Mika, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.